Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello everyone and welcome to your English class. In our lesson today, we're taking some enrichments on Unit 3. Unit title is titled, If It Hadn't Happened. All you need for the lesson today is your books on Unit 3, a sheet of paper and a pen to take down your notes. So let's get started. In this semester, we've taken 4 units. The first one was titled, Complaints. The second one was about, I wonder what happened. 3 was about, if it hadn't happened, and the last unit was about what they said. We will focus today on Unit 3, if it hadn't happened. How are we going to do it? We will focus on the self-reflection part in your books, page 47. We will go over the objectives in there, what you are supposed to understand so far. Let's start with these in here. On page 34 from the discussion lesson, we have talked about discoveries and inventions and how things would have been different without them. At the beginning, let's speak about what is a discovery and what is an invention. A discovery is to find something. However, to invent an invention, to come up with something, like TV. It wasn't there. We haven't found it, we have made it. So to make something is to invent, and to find something to discover. So how about Australia? Was it a discovery or an invention? It was actually a discovery. The car, it's an invention. The DNA, it is a discovery. TV, it's an invention. The airplane is an invention. Electricity was found. Gravity is a discovery. Cell phone is an invention. Computers are invention. And the penicillin is actually a discovery. So all of the inventions have been made. We have made them. We have made the car, TV, the airplane, the cell phone, and the computer. However, we have found Australia and the DNA, electricity, gravity, and the penicillin. Now, how could you imagine our lives without these, whether the discoveries or the inventions? We will go back in time and we will cancel this discovery or invention. Then we will come back to our present and how our lives would look like without these. Will they look better or worse? Okay. So, on page 34, we have discussed the idea, what would our lives look like without electricity? Imagine that we haven't discovered electricity and we haven't invented light bulbs. How our lives would look like today? Imaginary situation. People would probably be using candles or gas light. We would be still using gas lights. No electricity. Maybe we would have different lifestyle. We would sleep earlier and wake up earlier because we would depend on sunlight. How about computers? What would our lives look like or be like without the internet? If we haven't made it public or we haven't made the internet, do you think it would look like our days today? No. They will look totally different, drastically different. So, people in their homes wouldn't be able to be in contact with the entire world. So the internet is enabling us to communicate with people who are far away from us. No internet, no communication. So, people in their homes wouldn't be able to be in contact with the entire world. How about the penicillin? The penicillin was actually a discovery by Fleming, Alexander Fleming. He found it and came up with this medication. How about, let's imagine our lives today without the penicillin. People would have died earlier in age. Millions of people would have died from infection. The easiest thing, which is an infection, people would have died from it. So, no penicillin, people might have lower average lifetime. Then making collocation. What do we mean when we say collocation? We're having two nouns, two words, let's say. When they come with each other, we will come with a new word. Like when we say oil well, oil and well. Tooth, paste. Together, we're having a new word. Okay. We're having guard, style, load, bulb, and well. Let's read number one, oil. Which one will make a correct collocation? We can say oil well. Oil wells, we will come up with oil from. Heavy. Which word can be described as being heavy? Load. A load can be heavy. How about hair? Hairstyle. Electric, something that is electric. Electric bulb. And security guard. These are collocations. Two words, we will put them all together and we will come up with a new word. Okay. Here, try to match these words with as many words as possible to form a collocation. So just come up with as much as possible of these words. We will start with oil. Oil, well. Oil, then we will come up with another word. Oil rig, oil deposit, oil products, oil well, and we're having oil field. You can come up with any collocation that goes with oil. How about electric? Anything that is electric. Electric power, electric charge, electric iron, electric cooker, and electric appliance. How about heavy? It's an adjective, we can connect it to many. Heavy machinery, heavy industry, heavy metal, heavy material, and heavy load. You can come up with any word that comes to your mind as long as it is a correct one. Okay. Then page 34, we have also recognized inventions and discoveries. You will read the description of the invention or the discovery, then you will come only with one word. What is it? Number one, the thing that made transport of heavy loads and people possible. We're having an invention. It made moving or transporting people and things easier or possible. It is actually the wheel. The wheel, which was the first ever invention. It made the transportation or moving heavy loads and people possible. The medication that helped combat infection and saved lives. Notice the word combat, stop. It stops. So, which medication that made us able to cure infection? Someone had a cut, someone has an infection, they will take this medication. It is actually the penicillin. Number three, the little glass object. So think about anything that is glassy. Object that makes it possible for us to, we're having two light, dark spaces. Glass, with this glass we can light dark places. What is it? It is actually the light bulb. The bulb, not the electric, the light bulb. Not the electricity. We're using the light bulb, which is our invention, from electricity. The valuable stone that is often used in jewelry. So it's a stone that we use it in jewelry. What is it? It is actually the diamond. If you have thought about gold, gold is a metal. It is the material. However, this one is a stone. Okay. The following on page 35, we have talked about missed opportunities and regret. What do we mean when we say regret? When you say regret, you are expressing sorrow. You are expressing that you are sorry for something that you did or didn't do in the past. And now you feel sorry for doing that or sorry for not doing that. I slept late yesterday. Today I feel sleepy. I feel sorry for not sleeping early yesterday. I didn't study well. Today I didn't get a good mark. I feel sorry for not studying well. This is the idea of regret. It's a feeling that you feel. How can you express that? you will use should or shouldn't based on the meaning. Should or shouldn't. Always have, then followed by the past participle tense of the verb. Verb number 3. So, I should have said sorry. I didn't say sorry. Now I feel sorry for not doing it. I should have said sorry. And I shouldn't have shouted at her. I shouted at my friend yesterday. Now I feel sorry for shouting. I shouldn't have shouted at her. Okay, let's try to do these. What would you have done differently? Let's express regret and missing opportunities. We ordered Chinese food, but it wasn't good. Should, shouldn't. I will say, we shouldn't have ordered Chinese food. I wanted to change the Chinese food. Or, we should have ordered pizza. We should have ordered. We should have replaced it. I should have asked them about what they wanted. 2. I missed the class yesterday because I overslept. I didn't wake up. So, I should have slept earlier. Should have slept earlier the day before. I shouldn't have stayed up late. I should have set my alarm. I didn't expect any calls, so I switched off my phone. My friend kept calling me about a school project and couldn't get through. So, what is the thing that you feel sorry for? I shouldn't have switched off my phone. I should have got, yes, I should have got the answer, the call. On page 36, we have discussed the use of using should have with the past participle, which is verb number 3. We're doing expressing regret. Jack and Ali. Jack lent Ali some money, but he never paid him back. We will say, Jack shouldn't have lent Ali the money. So we will cancel the idea of lending. He shouldn't have lent him the money. How about the other one? We can say that Ali should have paid Jack back. We are going to blame this time Ali, not Jack, for giving the money. We will blame Ali for not giving the money back. How about number 2? Badr forgot his keys. So he broke the window to get into the house. No keys, I will jump into the house. Badr shouldn't have broken the window. Should not have broken. Or he should have taken his keys with him. Whether should have taken or should not have broken the window. On page 36, we have discussed the idea of using conditional sentences for hypothetical situations in the past. Conditional means if, and we will have 2 clauses. Okay, so the sentence is, if he had explained to the officer, he would have excused him. Reality, fact, he didn't explain to the police officer, so the police officer didn't understand him. This is the reality. He kept silent, said nothing, and the police officer misunderstood him. So we can say in here that if you want to express a situation, a hypothetical situation in the past, we will use past perfect, which is had plus verb number 3. Followed by the result clause, we will use would, have, and verb number 3, which is the past participle tense of the verb. So, you start with the past perfect, and the result or the answer will be would have done. So, let's apply this rule. What if the remote control hadn't been invented? Let's imagine. If remote control hadn't been invented, what would our lives look like today? If the remote control hadn't been invented, people would have to get up and change channels manually while watching TV. Let's focus on the grammar. Had been invented, then the result clause would have done. How about what if air conditioning hadn't been invented? How our lives would look like today? If air conditioners hadn't been invented, it wouldn't have been possible for people to live in very hot or cold areas. So here F clause had been done and the result clause would have been done. Would have been. How about what if the internet hadn't been made? No internet. So we will say if the internet hadn't been made available to the public, we wouldn't have been able to communicate by email. Had been made, verb number 3, and the result clause would then followed by have been. We're having have and been. Okay. Then we can use also could or might. We always know that if you can use will, for possibility we can use might, may or could or can. And in the past we can use might or could. So what would you do if they have told the truth? We're going to reply they could have saved themselves. Notice no would. This time we have chosen to choose could have, or they wouldn't have been in trouble. You can choose between whether could, might, or would. If I hadn't passed the test, what could have happened? I might have been taken it again. Might have been. If I hadn't passed the test, I couldn't have felt okay. Could have felt. If I had enough money, if I have got enough money, I could have bought a car. I wouldn't have been in trouble now. So here could have, and we're having bought as well. Okay, then we have discussed the use of the present perfect and the simple past tense. When do we use this and when do we use that? All of them, both of them, the present perfect and the simple past, action that started in the past. Simple past when we're saying he borrowed money last week. And the present perfect when I say we have been friends for a long time. Where is the verb in here? It's actually borrowed. So to form a simple past tense verb, I will use the past tense of the verb. Present perfect, the verb is have been. So we will use whether has or have with the past participle tense of the verb. What is the difference? When do we use this and when do we use that? When the exact time is mentioned, like last week, I know when it happened. It happened at this specific time. So we will use past simple. However, when the exact time is not given, not mentioned, when in the past, when I have no idea for a long period of time. So in here, I will use the present perfect tense. So keywords here, yesterday, 2010, 2 weeks ago. However, for the present perfect, I will use for, since, and a long time ago. Okay, like here, my best friend borrowed some money from me 2 weeks ago. I know when, 2 weeks ago, so it is borrowed. Also, I lent him more later that day. Lent, that day. Also, we decided to eat at a pizza restaurant that day. Decided. And the present perfect, I have saved the money for months. We have for, so have saved. Not a specific day. We have been friends for a long time. Have been. And I have trusted him since I knew him. We're having since have trusted him. Okay. So let's try to do this exercise. People try to keep cool or keep their food cool for ages. Notice, not a time, for ages. So have tried. The Chinese invent ice cream 4,000 years ago. Here, we will say they invented the ice cream 4,000 years ago. And they keep it in snow under the underground chambers. So, invented and kept. In Baghdad in the 8th century, specific time, a king imported snow and imported put in the walls of his summer home to cool the home. In 1834, specific time, 1834, Jacob Perkins, what did he do? Built a machine to make ice in London. The first home refrigerator appeared in the early 1920s. You notice when we're having forward tense, you will use the present perfect. However, if we're having a specific time, date, the 8th century, 1983, or whatever, you will use the simple past tense. How about the use of for and since? For, we use it when we're having a period of time, and since if we're having a specific time. Hamid has had the same TV 15 years. We will use for. For, it means for a period of time. How about I have had my laptop since last June? Here, we're having this starting from that day. Since. We have worked on this project a month. How long? For a month. My friends haven't visited me from starting from my graduation. Since. We haven't used our car a long time. For a long time. I have been drinking tea years. For years. Tariq has wearing glasses the age of 7, starting from there. Since. When have you had the beautiful watch? Since when? Starting from when? How long have you had it? For how long, you will say. Then the use of F with the past perfect. However, this time we'll speak about ability. So, if I had taken the watch, I would be able to start my own business today. So, he didn't take the watch and he can't start his own business today. What have we done? We have used the past perfect, had taken. However, about ability, this time we have used would, then be able. I would be able to do this or that. How about if we're speaking about the past? If I had known about the $10 reward, I would have been able to take the watch. What did we use in here? That the reality is, he didn't know about the reward, so he didn't take the watch for himself. We have used the past perfect, had, with the past participle tense of the verb, the result clause, would, able to, but this time we will use have been because it is an action in the past. So let's try to do this exercise. If Alexander Bell hadn't invented the telephone, people wouldn't have been able to communicate. So past perfect, ability, today. If the wheel hadn't been invented, we wouldn't have been able to communicate. How about if oil hadn't been discovered, we wouldn't have been able to use the car. So we will use like the past perfect, then ability in the present or in the past. Let's try to do this. If he get better marks, he attend university today. If he had got better marks in the past, today, he would have been able to attend university today. How about the second? If he learned swimming, he swim now. If he had learned in the past, today, he would be able to swim today. Then, expressing ability and request permission. When we're speaking about ability, we can use can or could. We can use for permission, may or can. And we can use for request, whether could or can. You notice that we can use can for many functions. Permission, we're having ability as well as the request. Okay, let's do it in here. Ahmed, you help me with this box, please. This time is a request. Can, could you help me? We not meet tomorrow. I am going to the dentist. We can't. Mr. Sawyer, not see you. I'm afraid he's busy. Can't see you now. Then swim when you were a child. Notice could and when you were a child, so past. Could you swim when you were a child? Imad stay for long. His friends are waiting for him. He can't stay for long. For this, you will get to know which function is it, and you will apply the suitable modal auxiliary in here or there. Okay, guess that is it for the lesson today, and thank you so much for your time.